Welcome back to Glow Up or Get Out. I am half the podcast, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
How are you guys doing? We never ask you guys how you're doing, probably because we won't get a response back.
I literally can't.
Hope you're doing well.
Yep.
Today, we're going to talk about cheating in depth. We've definitely talked about this topic in general. And, we just figured, why not just spill all the tea today? Just feels right.
If you've listened to last week's episode, we really talked about how taking a risk on being in a podcast together and just being vulnerable is risky or whatever. I guess we're fully just open to discussing the trauma, the inner depths of our trauma.
It's just like a good therapy episode, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's if this is about you or someone you know
and you want to know the tea, stick around. If you don't, if this is you, I'd head out. Or if you want to just know how we feel about shit,
yeah,
then listen up.
It is what it is. So who wants to go first?
I think before getting into our whole ass stories,
okay, right, some preface.
Let's do some preface work.
Okay.
I guess the topic of cheating is just either, I don't know, it's I think everybody's kind of why even cheat? You know what I mean? That's the sentiment. Not that I condone cheating. I do think that there's sides of things that are beyond.
I mean, Tristan Thompson. Come on, bro. It's just you're taking it too far.
You dummy. You're a dummy. You need to go. You're fucking ridiculous. Or you know what? Right. I think he may be
really ill.
I think he's mentally ill. I think he maybe has an addiction problem. He's a sex addict, That could be a possibility.
Could be.
Because it seems either you're really just dumb or you got a problem. You know what I mean?
It could be both.
And it could be both. So, I don't know. But
not us giving excuses for the cheaters. We're I get it though.
The thing is when I look back at my, not me cheating, but my being cheated on stories, I can see the pain behind the other people's eyes and their story, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't deserve that shit, but no. I can or not even, I don't want to empathize, but I can sympathize as to why or what led them to feel so that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it was not about fucking me. I was perfect. But
I was perfect.
I can sympathize as to why you made a dumbass decision,
Correct.
So I'll just preface it with that.
I think, yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
It's a fair statement. I think I agree.
Do you want to go first? Or is...
I don't know.
Why don't we start light with,
Why don't we talk about my first boyfriend? Because, that's whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Let's do some light work.
Some light work.
The ones that don't pain too much.
Yeah, she don't hurt that bad. So my first boyfriend... Should we give them names? Fake names?
Sure.
So they're easier to talk about?
Sure.
What's a good fake name for him?
James. I don't know.
James, surely. James, my first boyfriend. We were together 6 years. Just a little background story. We were together 6 years, high school sweethearts, blah, 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 blah. We broke up right after high school, got back together 3 months later. In that period, I think he cheated before we broke up with some girl at a party. That was super triggering. Just in general. I don't, nothing previous in my life had triggered me, I guess. So I guess it wasn't really a trigger, but...
It was just shocking to you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was hurtful.
It was hurtful, and he denied it, and then we broke up a month later. So who knows what happened there. Probably did cheat, though. Then... Well, I guess I should give details, at the party.
Mm-hmm.
He supposedly, went to his car with some girl and then came back later, and the girl was, telling all her friends, look at all these hickeys he gave me. And, it was summer, so, it wasn't school. So I couldn't see any of this.
It was just, word of mouth situation.
It was hearsay.
But also, why would other girls, lie about that?
Girls are trifling, but I do believe.
But why would her friends or the people around her
come back and tell me that?
Yeah, but like, why would they make her look bad? You know what I mean? So I think like that's why it's true.
Yeah.
Right?
So probably.
Anyway, I mean, like
you said no, he did. Yeah, he probably did. But of course we got back together. And during that time, he kind of like betrayed me. Even though we weren't together, he betrayed me in a lot of ways. Like he started dating my ex-best friend. Like he took her on dates. And I was like, oh, interesting. And that was like its own thing while we were together. And then he also got like dated this girl that was like my arch nemesis or whatever in high school because she liked my boyfriend, and then they started dating after. And then get this, we get back together. You know, I went through his phone. And he was like eating in the kitchen with his mom. And
sorry.
I don't know,
setting up the scene.
I don't know why I wasn't
in the kitchen with his mom.
I don't know why I wasn't like eating there with him, but regardless, I'm on the bed looking at his phone sitting there. I'm like, yeah, she gonna go through it. So I'm going through it. I think I see his text. There's probably a bunch of girls in it because we probably had been back together like a month maybe. And his photo album has pictures of her, this girl, in his mom's bed that I was sitting in with like just a bra. And I was like, oh, so I mean, it's like that.
Also, like, nasty motherfucker. Why are you having
in your mom's bed?
In your mom's bed, you weird ass.
Not me losing my virginity in his mom's bed.
Girl, down bad.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
Down bad. Did he not have his own bed? Is that what it was? Like, what? I'd rather do it on a twin bed.
I remember in
like
high
a
school.
twin-size bed than do that.
Oh, his bed was in the living room.
Oh, that makes sense.
It was a whole...
Okay, yeah, that's like a whole show.
It's a whole thing.
So...
Yeah, and it was a twin. So,
got it.
Right. So there was a door and it closed. So
yes.
that was probably a better move.
Aww. Poor mom.
Anyway. Love her. Anyways.
She probably knew.
She probably knew, for
probably
sure.
Sussed that out.
For sure. Ugh. Anyways. Yeah, so then I saw that. And he wasn't... That's not a scenario of cheating necessarily, but, you know.
Well.
I walked up in that kitchen and I was like, I'm leaving.
Just the anger took over.
Yeah, and he was like, what? Why are you leaving? And I was like, yeah. Just a hella.
You're like, I don't know how to like currently explain that I went through your phone, and that's why I'm literally fuming.
And his mom was probably like doing dishes, like not even paying attention, but I was just like, yeah, okay, right. Yeah. Why am I leaving? Like, you don't know.
He's like, what?
Jesus Christ. He's like, no, genuinely, I don't know why. And then I said, I looked through your phone. I said, come to your mom's room right now. Like, he was my little baby. I was like, come on, no, let's go. So we go to the room, and then obviously I explained it and showed him, and it was like a whole conversation. God knows, I wish I could remember the conversation because it'd probably be really funny. I don't remember it though, but I did end up leaving, I believe. You know, also looking back, he lied about losing his virginity.
Oh, that part fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, it was like we barely started dating. It was high school, and he asked me if I was a virgin, and I was like, yeah. And then I asked if he was, and he said, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. I'm trying to remember if we did it before or after this point. I feel like we haven't done it yet. Yeah, we hadn't done it.
Because I remember you telling me that you went under the impression, like, doing it under the impression that, like, it was, not that it wasn't special anymore, but, like, it was special because it was, like, you both were experiencing this together for the first time.
Yeah, and it wasn't. Yeah.
And
I think I knew. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it was before we did anything, and he was like, I have to tell you something. I feel so bad. Like, I'm not a virgin. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, get out of my house. I said, leave right now, get out. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. Still got back with him, but whatever. Well, we didn't break up in that moment, but you know.
I think it's just like crazy because like the thing is like these seem like small lies, but then like as your relationship like developed and continued for like the next 6 years, it just like
it was just lies on lies on lies on lies.
It's just like you have a problem,
correct,
sir. Like, you should get that brain checked out if you think you should lie so much. Like, what does it get you? Like, I don't understand.
So, anyway, that was his first offense. Stayed together. And it wasn't cheating that. I mean, his first offense cheating was probably that other one before we actually broke up.
Right.
So, next. Then I find these girls' leggings in the back of his car.
Oh, hell no.
And I said, whose leggings are those? What's that? Like under the latch thing, you know, like in the back of the trunk. Mm-hmm. They were under there. He goes, oh, they're just this girl who was my like friend through this breakup and that summer. Like, she was there for me. We went out together. We did things. Not us, but like we were
not us.
Not the two of us. We were trifling. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Those girls' leggings were in his car, and I said, "Huh? Why are your leggings in your car? It's weird." And he's like, "Oh, she just wanted to change, and you know, I kept her leggings for her." And I was like, "Throw them away right now."
Were they nice leggings?
Girl, I didn't even touch them. I said, throw them away. He threw them away. And looking back, it makes a lot of sense, because when we started dating, we both posted we went to the drive-in. Not with each other, but we posted it. And that girl messaged me being like, oh my God, are you guys back together? And I was like, yeah. Thank you for being happy for me.
It's like that question of like, oh.
So I need to stop fucking with him.
Yeah.
I said, girl, James was never yours to begin with. You're my friend. You shouldn't have been fucking around with him regardless.
That's trifling, dude. Girls are so like weird sometimes and catty.
It was messy.
And messy.
So yeah. And then, you know, fuck me. We stayed together for years. And then I think his 21st birthday or something, he refused to invite me to because he wanted to go to Vegas and I wasn't 21 yet. Even though I totally could have gone and like, you know.
You could have hung out.
I could have drank in the room also. Yeah. And I didn't have to go out if I like, whatever. I get it to a degree, but I don't. Anyways, at said event, I think he probably did cheat. There was nothing, you know, pointing me in that direction. But the whole time he did have a cousin that was like constantly trying to tell me he had shit that we would break up over. And his cousin was always on these trips. So who knows? You know. Yeah. And then the one that was like, I think we're done. He went to Vegas another time. And his cousin posted a video of him dancing with some girl. And I said, ooh. Oh, so there's evidence. And that night he didn't text me back, I remember, because I was sleeping at my cousin's house. And I was like, girl, we're going to have to run it back in the morning because this is fucking ridiculous. And I think, oh yeah, I screenshot it. I didn't screen record it, but I screenshot him with this girl. And his cousin deleted the video, like right after that. And I was like, interesting. So I think I called his ass. I chewed him the fuck out, dude. My cousin's neighbors were probably like, someone's about to get their ass beat.
This bitch is yelling.
I was just yelling at him. I was like, who the fuck were you dancing with? Why the fuck are you dancing with somebody? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I wasn't dancing with her. And then my cousin's boyfriend was like, he said, if I saw that of like your cousin, I would have broken up with her and not said a word. I would have just left. Of course I stayed. Oh my God.
I think like dancing is one thing, but I think like,
well, we've set those boundaries.
Right, you set the boundary that is like
cheating
to you.
Correct.
Got it. Yeah.
We'd set that boundary.
Especially if like that's something he would definitely like not like you to
couldn't even dance with my girlfriends. Like, come on.
Weirdo. Literally weirdo.
Like, oh, go dance with that random girl you just met then. But I can't dance with my best friends. Okay.
What a weird asshole. Anyway.
Yeah. So there was that incident. So many toxic details in the middle of that. Yeah. Like, he didn't come back home from Vegas for like an extra day. Even though I just caught him basically, to me, in our eyes, cheating. Who knows what he did after the dancing, you know? I don't trust you.
It's just like especially fishy because his cousin is so adamant about having information that you would like to know to break you guys up. Also, like, in itself, like, you're a fucking weird ass cousin. Like, if my cousin cheated and I saw it, I mean, sure, I would be like, she deserves to know. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't keep saying it and playing around with the fucking thing. Like,
it's like a joke. It's not even, like, I care about you. At that point,
either, like, honestly, stick up for your fucking cousin and, like, fucking die to the grave with it. But, like, yeah, what are you doing? It's just, like, you have really weird intentions. It's just, like, not even bad. I mean, they are bad, but like you're just fucking weird. What is your problem? That is so weird and like beyond.
Yeah. He is a special kind of person.
Ugly ass.
Now I'm remembering another occasion. I don't remember if this was before or after the Vegas thing. It must have been before. I feel like it was before. But he went to like a school function. Mm-hmm. And he got really drunk. Mm-hmm. He got really drunk. But didn't tell me. And then all of a sudden at like 11 o'clock, he was like, okay, good night. I'm going to bed. I said, you're still at the event. What the fuck are you talking about? I said, excuse me, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then, you know, I spiraled. I was being that FBI bitch in my bed. I was like, no. I was literally looking at his location, sending pings to his phone, making his shit go off, texting him, calling him, like, where the fuck are you? Why are you acting weird? What is going on? Yeah, and then every time I checked his location, he'd be, like, at a new bar or, like, club. Yeah, like, he was walking around the streets of fucking Burbank with his friends, apparently. And then he ends up at a hotel, like, his location. And I was like, what the fuck?
And this is, like, he usually stays at his...
He was gonna stay at his cousin's. That was his story. So
that's interesting that you're at a hotel.
Very interesting that you're at a hotel. So, sickening. He's at this hotel. I call the hotel's front desk.
Literally, Sam is a crazy ass bitch.
I call the hotel's front desk. And I said, hi, can you connect me with James? I'm just gonna say his name, but I said his last name. And they were like, okay, sure. They connected me. I said, period. Starts ringing. I'm fucking sitting up in my bed, like, dancing, like, nope. He answers, hello? I said, hello? And then I just started lying to see if he'd, you know, cough up to something. And I said, who's that in the background? Who is that? I can hear her. Who's in the background? Who is that? He's like, what are you talking about? There's no one in the background. And I was like, who is that? Tell me right the fuck now. I said, we're over. It's done. Just saying shit. Just spewing. And long story short, he gaslights me, obviously, and just tells me, like, I'm gonna go to bed. Like, I'm really tired. Like, we could talk about it in the morning. I said, the fuck we can? We can talk about it in the morning. And I was pissed. So then I
should have been like, oh, because you're gonna go for round 2 or what?
Yeah, for real. I should have. So then I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, I think I should go drive down there and confront him. And she said no.
Thank God. Thank God.
She said, you are not doing that.
She said, Sam, you're being fucking insane. You're crazy, bitch.
She said, that's absolutely not happening. And I said, okay, so I'm gonna try to go to bed then. Yeah. And just like reliving these moments, I'm like, wow, the way I felt so sick to my stomach all the time because he never gave me a reason to trust him. As you can see, and this isn't even everything. This is just cheating instances.
Yeah, cheating part, but...
Like, constantly showing me that I cannot trust him and that he's not honest.
I'm gonna give you guys a random fact that doesn't have to do with cheating for, like, her relationship, but this will just, like, insinuate how weird this man was.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just... like a little bit
I'm so interested
different in this way, but like it's not that, but you'll be like, oh, they didn't have plans necessarily, but like one day he just like randomly texted her that he was in another state.
Oh yeah, this is on my mind.
Like no, like he just like traveled like out of nowhere without saying anything. Like they've been together for 6 years. You definitely
got on a plane and didn't say anything.
You definitely talk about like your plans day to day, not in like maybe even hour to fucking hour. Like what?
Right. So in this instance, it was probably the week, maybe like, I don't know. We had lots of conversations of me being like, I'm not sure I can trust you. And him just kind of being like, we'll work on it. I don't know.
You'll work on it.
Yeah. The fuck? He's like, I'm going to earn it back. As we're watching Stranger Things or some shit. I'm like, stupid.
Arguing while you're watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I think it was like on the tail end of a good conversation of us being like, yeah, we're going to work on it. And I was texting him like all morning. It was probably like 2 o'clock. I think he was supposed to go to this car show with me and my family. Maybe. I don't know. But he texted me like, hey, yeah, I'm in Canada or some shit. And I was like,
wait,
what?
Not even another state, literally another country.
I can't remember.
I can't remember if it was like Colorado.
He like went somewhere and then to Canada. Like
yeah, it was
New York and then drove to
it was
Hannah or
like
something.
a multiple
New York.
location trip.
Right. So
Number 1, thanks for the invite. Number 2,
right?
what?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You know, you don't own anybody's time, none of that shit. But, like, communicate. Like, that's, like... And again, like, there's more situations that you're just like, why are you lying? Why are you, like, not saying the full information?
This was his reasoning to why he didn't tell me. I said, oh, so you'd rather ask for forgiveness and not permission? Which, like, he wouldn't... I mean, technically, at the time, he probably would have had to ask for permission because of how much he fucked up my trust. That I would have to be like, where the fuck are you going? Which, like, is all in itself a terrible relationship to be in for both parties. But it was 100% his fault, as you can see. Like, I didn't want to be a crazy bitch. You made me one.
And that will go in the trailer.
That's going to be in the trailer for sure.
Yeah. I definitely, like, I there was not even, like, permission you were, like, asking to be asked for, if that makes sense. Right. I don't even know if I said that right.
No.
But I think it's just, like, at the end of the day, you just literally wanted to be communicated to about where his whereabouts were going to be.
Correct.
Like, because he was so, like, just
selfish with his time
which is
life.
Like, if you're in a relationship, like, I get we're all individuals, 2 people together, like, you have your own life, you're, you know, your own whole, but, like, that's all. You're still in a partnership. You're, especially for that fucking long, you're in a partnership. This isn't like the first 6 months of dating. Like, it's 6 years. Like, you should fucking know how to communicate about your time, about like just everything. What is your... It's beyond me. It's so insane.
Well, the reason he didn't communicate it was because he was scared to ruin the good
conversation that just had.
Yes.
Way to go.
So you ruined it by like a tenfold instead of just like by a little bit.
I think he's just like, literally, men are dumb. Like, you don't understand. We just had an open conversation about
building trust.
So, like,
so the first thing you're gonna do with that is lie,
or like not give me full information. Cool. Anyway, that is beyond. So that's
basically James.
That's James right there.
We could really get into it, but we're not gonna, because that was just good on you, James.
Good on you, James. Good job.
I hope he is doing better. What I hear,
he's not. So.
He's not doing much better in terms of relationships. So, you know, if he wants to be selfish with his career and all that, then he should just stick to that. That is my advice to James. All I'm going to
say is, hun, you're not going to be this young for much longer.
What are you trying to say?
The hairline will recede. You will get old and fat. So
not it being a guarantee.
Then you just got what? You know, start being nice to girls now. Just
yeah. Okay. Well, that was a
message to the man. Anyway,
what's your starter pack?
My
story?
Starter pack story. Let's just preface by saying, like, literally every ex I've had has cheated on me. So.
Same.
Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's Mel.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like I said, I don't think any of this is my fault, but it's just interesting that I have a track record.
Just was meant
in
to
that
be.
way. Okay, so the first one, it's just gonna be a quick story because it's not for sure that he cheated on me. I will say.
Why is that?
But I mean, I was also really young, and I think I was looking for an excuse to leave this man or this boy. Mm-hmm. So basically, we were already together for like a year, maybe a year and a half. He was my first boyfriend. We were in high school. He was like pretty popular in our school because he was like an athlete, whatever. He was on like the varsity teams at school, so he had older like close friends, which in itself was like problematic because they were very sketchy. Like one of his best friends, or his best friend actually at the time, was with this girl for a really long time, and I'm really sorry. I feel like...
Oh, does she not know?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was not very girl code of me, but like he was trying to fuck around with my best friend at the time. And I was kind of like, not necessarily egging it on, but I was just like, that'd be so cool if we were dating like best friends and we were best friends. So
I mean, you were girl code for your friend.
For my friend.
Not for the other girl.
Yeah.
Wait, but did they do anything?
Mm-hmm. I don't think they had
Are
sex.
they still together, this couple?
No, thank God, no.
Oh, okay, then who cares?
But at the time, I wonder if
I'm
she
like,
knew.
are they married with kids? Like,
No.
maybe don't say it.
No. Thank God, no. I think she, like, moved on. Thank God. But, yeah, so they were together, and she was doing shit with him. So then, like, I already knew that these guys were sketchy, and the other friend, too. Like, he had a really nice girlfriend, and he was fucking around with other girls, too. And I knew all this information. And I don't know. It just fucking... It's weird, you know? And I'm like... Me thinking I'm any different from these
You
bitches,
said, oh my
you know
God,
what I mean?
they're getting cheated on.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Drama.
So dumb. But to, like, lay down that foundation, that's kind of, like, how the relationship and, like, his friends and everybody around him was. So, like, you can see, like, that he was gonna be sleazy, you know what I mean? I just remember that the moment that it happened was...
What happened? That he cheated?
Where I thought he cheated.
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm still, like, unsure. But we were at his older friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was junior. It was, like, the end of junior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he was a senior.
No,
Oh.
he was a junior with me, but his friends were seniors.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And, like, they had already gone through, like, basketball season, and it was just, like, whatever, right? This is, like, really random information. So they were having, like, a party at his house.
His friends.
I don't know if it was, like, after game or what. It was just, like, having to do something with, like, teammates, you know what I mean?
Got it.
So I went with him, and his mom drove us.
Yes.
And I remember I had left something in his mom's car, and I was like, oh, I'll just get it later, whatever. And when we were in the car, I had seen that somebody had, like, sent him a Snapchat of, like, a girl that I've never, like, heard of. And I remember, like, once we got there, I was, like, pissed. I was like, I'm not in the fucking mood to talk to your stupid ass friends. Like, I don't want to be here. And I got out of the car, and I was, like, in a bad mood. And then I remember he just kept asking me, like, what's wrong? Like, why are you acting so weird? And I was like, like, yeah, don't you know?
Yeah.
The same thing. I'm like, yeah, you should fucking know why I'm pissed, you know?
Literally.
And so I'm just, like, sitting there in a fucking bad mood. His mom's also, like, can tell that, like, I'm not in a good mood. I don't know how he, like, I got him to, like, open. Oh, I think I was like, hey, I was so crazy. I spiraled, I think. And, like, I hadn't even seen anything yet.
Just the thought.
thought. But it was, like, literally a random name that I've never heard of. Like, I knew his friends from, like, your school. I knew his friends from,
Who
like,
were his friends from my school?
Wilson. I don't know. Like, I knew of them, like, when I would see them, like, on Instagram or whatever.
Okay.
So I knew that
because he played basketball.
Yeah. Also, I never gave him a name.
Timothy.
Okay.
Timmy fucking Turner.
Timmy Turner. That's funny. So I knew that I, like, spiraled, and I, like, was, like, telling Timmy that I made, like, an excuse of, like, I was gonna leave.
Yeah. How?
Crazy. Like, I was not that far from home. It was, like, too much of a walking distance for sure. But my friend lived, like, basically across the street. Maybe a 5-minute walk. So I was like, I can probably walk to this house. And so I was already texting her. I was pissed off. I was like, dude, I think I'm going to fucking leave. Can I come over? And she's like, of course. And so I was like, hey, can you grab your mom's keys? Like, I left something in the car. And that was, like, A, an excuse to grab my shit. B, to tell him why the fuck I was leaving.
You said, let's go outside.
So he grabs the keys. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then I was like, I'm going to fucking go. And he was like, why? Like, what's going on? And I was like,
you don't even know anything yet. This is so funny.
And I was like, open your phone. And I think I made him, like, open the Snapchat. And it was like a selfie.
Oh,
in the mirror.
He hadn't even opened it.
No. And it was like a mirror selfie or something. And I was like, that's why. Because, like, and I remember it said something like it could be a little flirty. You know what I mean?
Sure, I'm sure it did.
And then he was like, it's nothing. This is my friend. And, like, I was like, okay, then scroll.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
he was, like, scrolling, and, like, it was conversation, like, probably normal conversation, but I'm like, why are you having full-on conversations with this girl who I don't know about? Like, why don't I know about this friend? Like, I know all of your friends at school. I know all of your friends from, like, other schools. Why don't I know this person? And he kind of just, like, tried to, like, get out of it, and I was just like, I'm fucking leaving. So I, like, grabbed my shit, and, like, I left. And he started crying and, like, trying to, like, gaslight me. He was such a fucking crybaby.
What a little baby.
Literally. And whatever, I just, like, got pissed and left. And when I was at my friend's house, like, I guess he kept texting me, like, why did you leave? Like, now my mom's, like, wondering, like, what happened. My mom's mad at you. And I was like, fuck fuck your mom.
My mom's mad at me. I'm fucking 17, bro.
It was so dumb. So then that's just like the end of that. And then he like begged me. We had plans to go to prom together, our junior prom, and I was just like, fuck you, like I'm not going, blah blah blah.
And you go with that girl? Did you ever?
He went with somebody. And that pissed me off because like, why the fuck are you still going? You know what I mean? Anyway,
why are you still enjoying your life without me?
But at that point, I had already like been talking to somebody new, so whatever.
I hate you.
It's just like it was fucked up, and like,
yeah, I mean, you cheated.
Yeah,
emotionally at minimum.
I think at minimum, yeah.
At minimum.
At minimum, because let's be real, these guys were trifling.
And like mentally, he heavily cheated because he was a liar.
Oh yeah.
So
I think there was always like other things too that pissed me off, that like he would like hard eye like shit and stuff like that. So I was like, I already knew it was just weird. Like I don't necessarily would say that would bother me now, like if Logan did that, because it's like I mean like, it's a little weird, but it like
depends. But yeah,
but like I was young. And, like, also just, like, I was already communicating that was bothersome, and he would still do it. So it's just, like, weird. So that's a quick story of that one.
Being young.
Should we go into your heavy next one? Because mine's pretty heavy. And then I'll end it off with the banger.
A banger? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what the banger is, but okay. Okay, so... Also, I do remember that my, like, first, like, fling in high school did cheat. We weren't together, so it wasn't really cheating. But it felt like cheating. But it felt like a big-ass betrayal. So I think maybe that's why I was triggered in my second relationship. Mm-hmm. I mean, first, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But anyways, side note. So yeah, going into this relationship, obviously I was like, yeah, we're not doing that again. Vegas, fuck that.
Vegas is a no.
Vegas is a no. I'm scarred for life.
Seems like... Yeah. Is it the place or is it the people? I can't tell.
I really don't know anymore. I really don't.
We're going to Vegas for your birthday.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas for my birthday in 2 weeks. So
anyway.
It's my turn.
I'm reclaiming Vegas.
I'm literally reclaiming Vegas. It's the whole point of this trip, and that's it.
That's so fun.
Anyways, so there was a lot of red flags here. He had cheated in the past. Let's give him a name. Stuart. Stuart.
Stewie.
So Stuart was a serial cheater, and he admitted that to me before we were like anything serious. And he had told me that he had slept with quite a lot of women. Yeah, so there was that I was aware of. And when he told me he had cheated, obviously he met me with this like, I'm a different person now, I've changed so much. So of course I'm like, you know what, he hasn't given me a reason to doubt him, so we're gonna go with it. Incident number 1. He goes to Vegas for a bachelor party, and obviously I'm already expressing nothing because he's like made me feel a certain way about it, but because I have a trigger. Right.
Let me help her out by saying this was a relationship that she thought was a lot more communicative, a lot more open with conversation about like the fact that somebody like was taking care of her like mental state with like triggers and like understanding where her brain was at. And so there was already conversations about how certain things made her feel and how because of what I almost said his name, James.
Stuart.
No,
previous. James.
What James did before, you really just wanted like open communication about where his whereabouts were when you're not like together and he's going out, right? That was like a kind of like not a boundary set, but like it was just like a expectation. Let's call it a boundary. I think it's a boundary. And it
wasn't like to the degree of like fucking text me every second that you're out, don't have a good time.
It's just tell me when you get back to the hotel or wherever you're staying, tell me that you're okay, or like tell me where you're gonna go. Like just literally it's a very light conversation of like, hey babe, I'm gonna go, like I'm with the guys at X bar right now, we're probably planning to go to blah blah blah, but we'll see where the night takes us, I'll let you know when I get home.
Something to this extent. Correct.
Anyway, so.
And, obviously he had been very agreeable to all this conversation. And whatever, he goes to Vegas. And the first night, I don't remember if he texted me, like, that he made it safely. I can't remember. I feel like he did. I feel like I was like, cool. Like, yeah, like, we made it through the first night. And then the second night, well, actually the second day, he just didn't talk to me at all. Like, he sent me, like, one text. And, like, he sent me, I think, a video or a Snapchat of him just super fucked up at, like, a day party by the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he just... I could just tell he was fucked up. And, you know, whatever. He sent me that video. And then that night, I went out with my friends. Because I was like, I ain't gonna sit at home. Like, the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So I went out with my friends. We were, like, lit. Like, we're going out. And then I think either in the middle of the night when I got back home, he still didn't text me, like, all day, none of this stuff. Like, I probably texted him, like, hey, by the way, I'm going out with my friends, like, just letting you know we're about to leave. Because I'm a fucking courteous person. I could have told him nothing, but whatever. So then we go out, come back, and then in the morning, I basically sat with this information and just, like, let it stew. But his cousin had posted a video of, like, somebody in the pool. And there was a girl wrapped around this somebody, just, like, hanging out or whatever. And it looked very much like Stuart.
It looked like Stuart's hair.
It looked like Stuart's skin.
The back of his
His
head.
height. It was giving Stuart.
It was a bit blurry, I will say.
Yeah.
But
there was questions. There was doubt.
The thing is, the initial response of when you looked at this picture, it was
Stuart.
like, oh my God, is that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I think I confront him about it. I think I was probably being fucking rude whenever he did message me back. So I think I messaged him, and then he was like, oh, my other buddies are here for a different bachelor party, so, like, I'm gonna meet up with them. I said, oh, so you're not coming home today anymore? He said, no, I'm just gonna, like, catch a flight tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I sent him the screenshots.
Wait a minute. His friends were leaving?
So the bachelor party he came with, we're leaving. The bachelor party that his other friends happened to be on at the same time, we're staying another night.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah. Basically, I confronted him. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. I fucking hate you. Fuck you. How could you do this to me? I'm calling my friends. I'm like, y'all, this is so fucked up. I am just traumatized and triggered. And, you know, he tried to deny it. He was obviously drinking the whole day because that night he sends me a voice memo on accident saying, I'm taking that shit to my fucking grave. Nice. So I was like, oh, you're taking it to your grave. Oh, we weren't talking about that. And I'm like, oh, so you're not talking about the fact that your girlfriend's trying to break up with you. You're not talking about that right now. You're just having a casual conversation about something else right now. Okay.
The stupidity.
Right. You know, and then it turned into, like, his cousin ate out a stripper and he got herpes or some shit. It was, like, a whole thing. And I'm like, the way this is such a fucking story. So Mel and I went back and forth for, like, literally a week of, do I give him a chance? Do I believe him? You know, looking back, why the fuck did I give him a chance? Like,
I was really hoping you weren't. But,
I know.
I had no control.
Neither did I, apparently. So gave him the chance.
I think it was just, like, the factor of, like, we can't
don't
say
know.
for sure that this is it. Although the evidence was motherfucking pointing
to that. It was racking up. It was really racking up against him.
Especially that voice memo. That was really
stupid.
Just really dumb.
And so hurtful. Like, just all around.
I think, like, number one, you're a fucking shitty person for just wanting to save your ass because other people, like, your partner that you're screwing over deserves to know about, like, the
whatever
sexual
promiscuity,
like the sexual, what is it, like, dangers that they might just encounter. Like, that's really fucked up. Yeah. That, especially because your nasty ass isn't getting fucking tested, you gross. Never mind.
So that keeps going.
Anyway,
that leads us to the next part.
Situation.
You know, there was, like, lots of little incidents here and there that, you know, raised flags. Or, like, I remember I went on a trip with him for a friend's birthday, and I was in the pool by myself because for whatever reason he was just drunk, walking around doing whatever the fuck he wanted with whoever the fuck he wanted. Not saying he was, like, actively cheating on me in front of me or anything, but, like, he would go up to, like, the hotel room without me and not tell me, and then obviously everyone's, like, drinking in there, so it's, like, a bunch of girls, a bunch of guys, and one of his friends came down into the pool and they were like, yeah, you should watch out. Like, you need to keep your eye on Stuart. And I was like, I said, I don't want a man that I have to keep my eye on. And they could tell I was irritated because I was already, like, I'm literally entertaining or being entertained by, I guess, his friends, which, like, is fine. Like, I'm cool with having good conversations with people, but, like, where the hell has my boyfriend been this whole time? So then they come tell me that, and then he was like, oh no, not like that, like, not like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So there was, like, incidents like that would occur, just, like, not things you want to hear about your partner. So I was like, all right, cool, keeping it moving. And then it's his birthday.
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang. Here we are. So it's his birthday. For the whole week leading up to his birthday. Well, okay. I guess I gotta rewind. Not his birthday. A week before his birthday, I go out to, like, a brewery type place with his one friend to watch the Dodger game. And he's supposed to pick me up. Or no. I'm driving to his house and he's driving us there. So I get there. And I'm fucking calling him. 20 minutes, I'm sitting outside his house. And he wakes up. He's like, oh my God, I fell asleep. I'm going to take a shower, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, if you're not out in 5 minutes, I'm just going to fucking leave and go home. Because, like, I'd already been waiting. Mm-hmm. It's just fucking rude. So, whatever. He comes out, starts driving. And I was, like, low-key a little bit, like, sussed out. I was like, are you good? Like, did you smoke or are you drunk? Like, why are you're acting weird as fuck? Mm-hmm. And he was just like, no, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I was like, okay, whatever. And, like, I was already irritated because he was doing that shit. So we get to the brewery, whatever, meet up with his friend, or trying to be cordial and nice, but he's, like, fucking drunk. Like, he's yelling at the TVs, like, about the game, and I'm like, can you please stop? It's embarrassing. And his friend is just, like, sitting there.
Silent.
And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then he was like, do you want a drink? I was like, no, I'm good. He brings me a drink. And I was like, all right. I said no, but okay. And I think he's probably trying to, like,
loosen you up.
Like, I'm so upset. And I'm like, yeah, for good reason, but whatever.
Because so he was sometimes I can't even talk. Obnoxious drunk.
Yes.
Not the first situation. And I think it was just, like, he was just, like, that type of, like, dude where, like, like, sports really, like, got him going. You know what I mean? Weird. Anyway.
Yeah, so I was irritated, and he's, like, trying to be all sweet and shit, and I'm like, you're annoying me. Please stop. And I looked down at his phone, and this girl Snapchat him. It says, like, some girl's name, Bellflower.
Why the fuck are you using Snapchat?
Literally.
Anyway.
I don't even think he Snapchat me at this point. So I look at it, and I grab his phone, I open it. She's naked in the photo. I said, interesting. I give him his phone back, and I'm like, I'm Ubering. I'm leaving. And his friend's probably sitting there across the table, like, just like
shit,
what's going down? And then he said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, he's trying to act like I didn't see anything. I was like, you're literally dumb. So I show his friend. I said, this is why I'm leaving. And his friend goes, ooh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, that's bad.
And I was ordering the Uber. He's, like, trying to put his arm around me, and I was like, you're fucking mental, bro. Like, get off of me.
Do not touch me with your disgusting, nasty hands.
Ew.
At that point.
Yes.
Gross.
So I was like, I'm gonna go wait outside then, because you're being weird. Like, I'm gonna go. And I tell his friend, like, I'm really sorry that this happened, but I gotta go. He was like, totally respect it. So I walk out.
You're like, respect, bro.
Yeah, I say, hey, dab me up, bro. Anyway, so I go outside to wait, and he fucking, like, little drunk dinosaur walks out, and he's like, please don't leave. Like, why are you leaving? It's nothing, I promise. She's my friend. I'm like, friend?
Your naked friend?
Your friend? I said, why do you have pics of your friend's boobs? That's weird. Because that's saved in the chat. She didn't just send you that. That's, like, back in the chat.
Oh, no.
So then he's just drunk. He's like, I'm gonna get in the Uber with you. And I was like, I swear to God, if you get in this Uber with me, no. Like, I just had nothing to say. I was just like, no. So I get in the Uber, and he's like, and I said, bye. Then I get in the Uber and I'm like, hi, sir. Like, I'm not trying to act dramatic here. So I'm Ubering home and he's texting me the whole way, please, 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 like just blowing me the fuck up. And I'm like, dude, you're so fucking annoying. Like, I didn't tell him that, but I was just like, no, 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 and no. Like, you're fucking lying. And he was trying to gaslight me the entire time we were having a conversation. You know, oh, she's my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's old. Like, you just trying to come up with every lie in the book. And I get home. I'm like, I'm taking a bath. I can't do this. Like, I was literally so overwhelmed that I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was like, I could either go to sleep or, like, I don't know.
You just wanted to calm literally your nervous system down and be like, hey,
Yes.
let's just think about what just happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not make any decisions. Just chill. So I get in the bath and he's calling me and I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, what? Well, are we together? Are we together? And I was like, I don't know right now, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if we are together. And he's like, well, like, just tell me an answer. Like, he was trying so hard to get me to tell him that if we were or we're not together. So I ended the conversation just saying, like, we are together right now because I don't want to make a decision. So we're just going to keep things the exact same. And he was like, okay, well, yeah. And I was like, where are you going? Like, I could tell he was in the car driving somewhere. Which, like, he's drunk, honestly. I fully believe he's really drunk because he, after the fact, tells me that he doesn't remember the argument we had outside of the brewery. So I'm like, clearly you weren't well enough to drive. So long story short, that week goes by. I spend time with him. We hang out. He went out that night and never texted me or something and tried to call me at 2 a.m. And I was like, I'm not doing this, because old me would have been like, hi, where are you? Like, what's going on? Checking his location. And I literally was just like, I'm going to bed. Like, I do not care.
Yeah.
So the next days, like over the next few days, like we're talking and like we're obviously still together. And it's his birthday the following Monday, like a week later. So that weekend, like I decorated my house for him. I baked him a cake. I got him a gift.
You were ready to move on from the situation.
Yes,
right?
which, like, why? But whatever, I was. I think probably because it was his birthday. I don't know. Or, like, I just chose to push past it for whatever reason, even though it was literally so bad. So then it's his actual birthday. I decide to work from home with him. And long story short, I posted for his birthday, and then he reposted it, and this girl DM'd me a very long DM. She commented on my photo and said, check your DMs, like a really old photo. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I noticed she followed me. I'm sitting on his bed. I just bought him lunch and we just ate it. Like, it was a great time. And I'm like, who's this girl? Like, I show him because it says, like, he follows her, or, like, people from high school, his school, whatever, follow her. He was like, oh, that's just some girl from high school. Why? I was like, oh, well, she followed me. It's weird. And she sent me a DM. I'm going to read it. So I go to read the DM, and I was like, oh, no fucking shit. She basically says that she had sex with him multiple times that night that we got in that argument, that he was too drunk to drive. And, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to get into all of the details, but long story short, he cheated on me. And I screenshot that. I was walking at his house. His poor little sisters were coming into the house and were so excited to see me because it was their brother's birthday and we were going to go to dinner. And I was like, I'm leaving. I'm so sorry. Left, got in my car. I'm fuming. He's calling me. The girl is DMing me. Like, he's calling me nonstop. I had to block him. Like, blah, 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 blah. She sent me all the screenshots. He'd been hard-eyeing photos for months. Like, all this fucking shit. And I'm like, how do you look someone in the face? Because he repeatedly told me, like, the weekend that I was celebrating his birthday with him, I was like, you're not lying to me, right? Like, you're not intentionally hurting me. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, no, I would never do that. I would never do that. And I'm like, okay. And then, of course, after the fact, he wants to just get all the manipulation he possibly can to get me. And I'm like, why do you want me? You literally forced this girl to get a plan B while you're texting me about your birthday. And, like, I just, like, it makes no sense. Like, I just don't get it. It just literally makes no sense to me. And, like, he did little things knowing he would get caught eventually, like, I had his vaccine card, and before he left, I was like, oh, do you want to take it home, like, so you have it? And he was like, no, I'll just get it later.
He just, like, it's so weird because as I feel like as dumb as he tried to make himself seem, as, like, it was just like something I fell into, like,
even though he's on the phone with me on the way to go fuck her.
It's just, all of it is very, like, kind of calculated. And it's like you're so, like, you're beyond nasty for that. Like, that is gross. That is grimy.
Not to mention we were intimate after the fact. Him knowing that he had cheated on me multiple times and made a girl take Plan B.
And again, I will say, nasty motherfuckers don't get STD
checked. Yes, correct.
So, weird. So that's how that ended.
You know, I can't wait to get into my next relationship.
Well, hopefully it just ends up, like, in a good story. Like, you know, Logan is a great partner.
Correct. Maybe third time's the charm.
You gotta go through some shitheads, you know? Unfortunately. Yeah. My third time was not a charm. But hopefully yours is.
I'm a little older, so maybe the third one's
the first one was like
she was too long.
It was a tour, you know? A 2-for-1.
James really took me on a trip.
James was like 2 relationships. So I think... Or 3. So I think we're really we're already at a point.
We're at 6.
We're at a point that, like, it should be the next one, you know?
It's time. I mean, long story short, I ended it right then and there. Got the fuck out of there, went to my own Logan's house, and
I was shook.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, like, it didn't surprise me, but I was like,
he's stupid.
It was his birthday, so I was like, you know, it's just a new person. They were having a good old time.
Right.
And I texted her, like, hey, tell him we said happy birthday. Totally forgot, like, to send him a message. And I think me and Logan had already, like, also texted him. And also, to say something, he tried to get me to, like, get them back together the first time.
Right. Which is why we were also so convinced, and then his cousin also was like...
Yeah, it was just, like, a lot. It was just, like, he had a team backing him up. Anyway.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, she didn't answer about that. Like, okay, like, maybe they're just having a good time. And then you're randomly calling me, and I was like, huh. It just, like, my stomach kind of felt like something's weird. Is off. So I answered the phone, and, like, you're not even crying, dude.
No, I'm shaking.
You're literally, like, shaking in anger with, like, a straight face, and you're like, cheated on me. Oh.
We'll just cut that. What's his name?
Stuart cheated on me. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was just like, it wasn't it was shocking, but not out of character, I should say.
And it was just like just the feelings of just like messaging this girl, her sending me more and more screenshots of like their messages,
so in detail. It
was so deep. And then he was still trying to convince me, and then finally, like an hour later, he's like, yeah, I fucked up. I'm like, dude, why were you even denying it from the start?
Like, you're an idiot. Literally a fucking idiot. Anyway,
yeah,
that's it with that.
And the aftermath is like probably a whole nother episode.
It's a whole other episode
if it really was necessary.
What comes after the cheating?
The
remorse.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a good old time.
That's a good one.
I'm really glad that it ended like no issue. Like, I'm done. That was enough for me. I am out of here.
Yeah. I'm happy for you.
Same. Life has moved on to bigger and better things.
Absolutely. I still have 2 more stories. I don't know if I should just, like, cut them short. Maybe the last one, I'll make it a little more lengthy. I mean, you know what? They're whatever. Like,
they're not whatever. Just speak it.
Okay, so this next one, we are cordial now. So just I want to preface to, if you're listening, no hard feelings. Don't hate you. Again, I sympathize with all my cheaters.
Sending lots of love.
Sending you love. No, but for real, like, I have, like, no animosity. It's pretty silly now, and I hope you can have a laugh, or maybe just...
I hope we all can have a laugh in a few years. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me preface with that. So going into the story, I feel like I've talked about this man before, but
Yeah.
let's give him a name. I'm thinking
Julio came to mind. I don't know why.
what the hell? Okay.
I don't know. I just picked
Julio.
Don Julio.
Don Julio. He and I were in a kind of like tumultuous situationship, let's call it.
Yeah.
For about like almost 4 years, I think. I had tried to get this man to be my boyfriend and to kind of like explain the relationship a bit. I was kind of like always the other woman in this situation. He had a girlfriend for a lot of the times, and when he didn't, they were very short periods. So and I was always like not lied to, but misinformed, let's call it. Manipulated. I think a lot of that was, emotional like manipulation. Again, if you're listening, just bear with me.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I was also young and like talking about the last situation. I don't know. Like I was like, I'm excited about this new person, whatever. So like I was infatuated by this person, and to say the least, like I just really wanted. He made me feel a certain way that like I never felt before at that time. And so I just really wanted to be with him, and I think I was manipulated to think that like I was like the better option for him, if that makes sense. But like there was just so much history with like his current and like ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend, whatever.
Right.
And so it was just like a pull for me to stick around and to make me feel like, you know, I'm with her, but I should really be with you kind of a situation. What? Which like, why aren't you just with me?
Yeah,
but whatever.
Makes no sense.
I also just like now realize like a lot of our relationship was very just about like the intimate moments, like intimacy in like a physical way. And that I think really made me feel like used and shitty a lot of the time. But I think it was again like manipulated to feel like this is what I actually want. You know what I mean?
Because it was better than the last one. Like it was like,
yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So
to me it does.
To me it does. So yeah, that happened. And so like I said, it was like at this point it was maybe like almost 4 after 3 years, but like not 4 years yet of me trying to like get this man to be my boyfriend.
Which is just absolutely ridiculous. Look at this girl. I'm sorry.
That's
begging
weird.
Someone for 4 years?
Yeah.
No. Never again.
Quite honestly, dumb.
You're young.
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it was worth it. Whatever.
Yeah.
So at this point, like throughout that time, I had obviously like tried to move on. In the middle of those 3 years of being off and on, or 4 years of being off and on, I like tried to, date other people. Yeah. I had friends that turned into like friends with benefits and whatever. I had like other people around. I just like genuinely wanted this person.
Yeah.
And so it came down to one time where he just really decided, I guess, that this was the time that like he was really going to break up with his girlfriend. And at the time
this is so trifling, dude.
So trifling. They were together for a long time, and at that point we're living together, or like he was living at her house or her mom's house or some shit.
My God.
So like it was this whole thing of like he needs to move out, he needs to find his own place.
And it became your burden?
It didn't become my burden, but like it was just more like I felt like it was serious this time because he was literally leaving the relationship physically too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It felt
and so
serious.
At that point, like he was gonna go move in with his mom again, and like that was gonna be his place where he was gonna be for the meantime, because he definitely like wanted to be on his own. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy. Like I'm really glad that like this is moving forward. So it was like good for a while, but at that time like I was so weary of like calling him my boyfriend, because it was like so fresh that they had ended. And
did he express that you guys were though? Like it was no.
Okay. So I think we maybe like I also got manipulated into like not calling it anything at that point, but we were very like we were together without being together.
Yeah.
And I just also like, I think, like, I talked myself into thinking, like, this is probably best because I also don't want to, like, me and his ex-girlfriend and him just had a lot of history at this point. And so, like, I didn't want to be seen in a certain light. Like, if, who the fuck is caring of who's watching? You know what I mean?
I mean, the people are watching, but what are they going to do?
But what are they going to do? So I thought I like really cared about it though, apparently. And so I just kind of like was like, this is cool. Like we're exclusive, but like
It's a secret.
It's like not a secret, but like we're not going to call it anything. Like it's like a soft launch situation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it was like this for a while, and it was going really good. Like I spent a lot of time with his mom and his family. His mom had just had like a baby, and he had a little brother now. It was just like a lot of like intimate like moments.
Yeah.
I had like slept over at his house. It was just like a lot, and I really thought things were going well. At this point, I like had started a new job too, and was already meeting. I already met basically my next boyfriend there. So like I was just like, life fucking is good right now. Like life is good. Life that's happening. We're having a good old time, and you know, I spoke too soon.
Life was not good, in fact.
Life was not good, in fact. I remember that we had like a really good weekend or really good week, and then that weekend we were gonna go to a music festival together. And wow, I just realized that like a lot of music festivals are like have like triggering moments for me. Anyway, we went to a music festival together, and at the music festival, he's like whatever. Like he's not being like extra like loving to me or anything. Like it's whatever. Like it's like we're hanging out as all friends, which I don't necessarily mind. Like I think I'm not a PDA type of person anyways, but just looking back, like it was kind of sketchy because he was affectionate. So it was just weird.
It was out of character for him.
A little bit out of character. We also like got really fucking high at this said music festival. I think if you've seen our drug episode, I talked about the situation, but we all took a Cordova like cookie edible. And I and my friend and his friend got really, really like sick high.
Oh, yeah.
He was fine, and I think like I don't know if like at that point he was already kind of like whatever about me, so like I felt like I was annoying him. Also like paranoia, but like I felt like I was annoying him.
Also like drugs.
Also drugs. I felt like I was annoying him, and it was just like weird, and I felt like disconnected. Or maybe the drugs weren't lying, you know what I mean? They were just like bringing me closer to the truth here. So whatever, the night like pans out, and I don't know that anything is wrong, but like I just think that I'm so focused on me like being sick. And we're watching a show together. His friend had left, so it's just me, my best friend, and him. We all bought like matching hats. We were watching not Childish Gambino. What the fuck is his name right now? I can't think. Chance the Rapper. What the fuck is my problem?
Nice.
It was during coloring book. It was like the coloring book hats that they had at the festival. We all like got the same hat. We're all sitting there. Like it was cool. It's like bestie, like my bestie and my new boyfriend are gonna, you know, vibe.
Cute.
But she already like knew the tumultuous past. She was there for it all. So it's like it kind of like for me felt like a moment of like relief. But little did I know. So I'm sitting there. I didn't think anything was bad. And then later, I had followed this girl from my high school. She posted on her Instagram and she got flowers. And I don't know if like she like soft launched his body or anything, but I recognized him.
What?
Or like his hands, something. Like I recognized something within the photo, and I was like, huh. And let me just start by saying that like he has a clothing company. And at the time, like, he was really trying to, like, get, like, models and, like, just, like, get a whole, like, vibe for his brand. And I remember him talking a lot about her and how, like, she's really pretty and, like, how he just, like, really likes her look. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I was never jealous about it. I was just kind of like, yeah, like, she's really pretty.
But
like,
looking back, I'm mad.
And so... I mean, maybe he set that up so that, like, I don't see it as a threat when, like, it's on his phone or, like, in conversation. You know what I mean?
Okay, manipulative.
That's what I'm just thinking. Like,
you know what I meant?
I think it was, like, a little bit calculated now looking back. But, so that happened. And then I was, like, interesting that I saw, like, his something in the photo. I think I don't know if I, like, messaged her. I did.
Do you want to see them now?
Yes.
Are you ready?
So I'm going to read some texts. Or, like, kind of go briefly through them.
The receipts. I'm dead.
Oh, I didn't text, like, screenshot what I asked her. Oh. I think I had just, like, said, hey, like, are you and... What did I name him?
Julio.
Are you and Julio talking? Like, I just want to know, you know? And she was like, I mean, kind of. Like, we're not, like, serious or anything, but, like... Yeah, we're talking, and I was like, oh, funny you say that. And I was like, well, you know, I just want to let you know that, like, I think he's playing us both. Like, this is, like, not cool.
Girl.
I was like, also, like, just to let you know, like, this is not, like, out of character. Like, this is what he does. Like, this is his MO. And we just, like, had a whole chat. Like, this girl was cool at the time. We, like, just really discussed everything. She really had my back. But anyway, she, like, ended up screenshotting shit that, like,
she messaged him.
Yeah, she messaged him. I think he, like, screenshotted a photo of her. I mean, I can't see it, but seems like a photo of something. I just, like, know his responses to things at the time. And he just goes, oh my fucking God. And then she goes, we can't talk anymore. And he goes, why? And then she says, why didn't you tell me that you were also talking to Melissa? I mean, I don't care. It's just messy. It's just messed up for her because she really likes you. Which, like, also she was downplaying.
Like, his
it's kind of
part in it
funny.
all?
Yeah. Like, not his part, but, like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just fucking around with you, which that's her MO. But,
hers?
like, she didn't.
She's saying that,
like,
yeah.
I was just, it kind of seemed like I just like the attention. Like, I don't really care if you guys are together. Like, you know what I mean? Which is kind of trifling. But anyway. And he goes, wow, are you going to stop talking to me?
Nice.
He said, wow, what the fuck?
Okay, King.
And then she says, well, why were you pretending to like me, LOL? Whatever your intentions were, you could have just been blunt. You knew I wasn't trying to be serious, but I'm also not trying to fuck anything up for anyone else. Which, that's really sweet.
What a sweetheart.
What a sweetheart. And then he says, I'm not pretending to like you, blank her name. Why would I pretend? Everything I've been telling you has been the truth. Why would I lie about that? Which, that is a message that, like, is literally, like, copy and pasted. Not actually, but like something he has said to me in terms of, like, when I was, like, dealing with his ex-girl, not me personally, but, like, dealing with him and his ex-girlfriend being together.
He's like, why would I lie?
Why would I like, why lie? I really like you. Okay, but you're basically in a relationship, ? It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, you know the way I feel. So you should know that you didn't hurt me and I wasn't gonna let you regardless. It's just fucked up. I've been hurt before and now you're putting her through that and making me a part of it. It's unfair. So then this is, like, in the conversation we're having, me and this girl, she's just like, you know, this is literally something that my ex just did to me. So, like, it's like, I guess she was kind of telling me, like, it's triggering, but it's also, like, fucked up that, like, now it's happening to somebody else and I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he says to her, there has been so much shit going on in my life and I don't need this. I just need you to talk to me, please. I understand I should have told you, but believe me and understand that everything I have told you has been the truth.
Yeah, you do like her.
This to me. Blank, I just need you to understand. And she goes, understand what? I told you I'm not hurt. I'm fine. Like I told you, I wouldn't be hurt. You hurt someone else, not me. And then he said, I'll leave you alone for good. I'll leave you for good then. Thank you. And she goes, no hard feelings. I would have continued, but it's not fair to Melissa. So also, like, girl, why are you saying that at the end? It's so weird.
She's so funny for that. But I mean, all right.
It's just so funny. Like, I feel like girls in these situations are always, like, the same, if that makes sense.
It's like, I'm not hurt.
I'm not hurt.
It's no big deal to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that poor girl.
That poor girl, though.
He's such a dick.
Nah, that was never me in the other situation. That would be like, you really hurt my feelings.
He said, no, actually, it's about me.
And then he said, no hard feelings, ? No hard feelings, ? You have no idea what you and her are causing. But thank you.
Like he didn't make the decisions. Like, if it's not the consequences of his own actions.
What we did to him, to you? Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, Julio.
Okay,
take a step
Julio.
back.
Take a step back. Take a shot. Take a step back.
Take a shot and think about it.
So bad. So then I have screenshots of my shit.
Of what you said to him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, at this point also, like I said, we were, like, kind of in a relationship, so we had been doing a lot of things together. We went to concerts, we went to, like, a lot of things. And I remember one of the things is that he took me to go see Kanye West during, like, the Pablo era. That was the show where he, like, went on stage and then, like, fucking left because he was too emotionally distraught. And we, like, barely were at the show. But anyway, we bought merch. And he had my Pablo hat, which to this day I don't think I ever got it back. Anyway, so I texted him, can I have my Pablo hat back, please? As in, like, I don't want to speak to you again, but I want you to know how fucking pissed I am.
Right.
He goes, yeah, don't worry. I'll give it to his friend to give it to you. Leave me the fuck alone.
He said that to you.
In all caps. Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh!
And I said, be a man and give it to me yourself. Have the decency to admit to your bullshit.
Ooh.
And he goes, ha ha ha. Okay, will do. Now stop texting me, period. As if I fucking did something wrong. I'm sorry you got caught. I'm sorry you like, I fucked up your situation. I don't give a shit what you're going through.
Go find another person to talk to.
And this is what I'm saying again. I understand what the fuck he was going through. But at the same time, like, you don't be a decent person. Don't be a fucking asshole. Anyway.
Right.
So then I go, thanks. Before work would be great.
Nice.
He goes, I'm already at work. And I said, okay, bring it to me tonight. Can I ask one more thing, though? And he goes, no, leave me alone already. This is so embarrassing.
He's so mean.
And then he said, what did I say to him? I guess I didn't screenshot that part. I guess I, like, kind of yelled at him. And then he goes, thanks. Keep telling me more, please. I hope this is all making you feel better. Like, he was so bad. Okay.
This you got what he was probably given to his on and off girl.
Uh-huh. And then I said, no, it's not making me feel better at all. I was just hoping it would make you feel disgusted about yourself. Damn, bitch.
Period.
I said, I loved you so much and you didn't give two fucks about me. You are selfish and have an ugly heart. You're sad and you need to love yourself. You can't keep hurting people like this. I thought blank, his ex-girlfriend, was the bad guy. But no, that's not true. I don't know how you can just dismiss me like this after everything I've done for you and after everything we've been through. Why did you make me think that you cared? Like, what was the point in doing that? How does this help anybody? Like, how does this help you? I'm literally saying, like, how does this help me? How does this help this other girl? How does this help your ex? How does this help you? Literally, everyone is hurt in the situation and you're the cause of it. Mm-hmm. And he just says, leave me alone already.
This man.
So reading those back, it's just really sad. Really, really fucking sad what I was going through. Because I like I said, I think no hard feelings now at all. But I think like I remember I read these like recently.
A few months ago.
And I was like, damn, I don't remember it being this bad. I think, like, I really just, like, got over the situation and just really, like, saw it for what it actually was, which is, like, yeah, I was hurt and, like, this was an awful situation for me to have gone through. But, like, I can also see that we were really young and things happen, you know?
Yeah.
Which I maybe, like, downplayed a little bit. But, like, at the end of the day, like, damn, that's down bad.
That was bad. He was rude.
Mm-hmm. And then I just, like, I screenshotted another thing, which was just, like, a location photo. And the girl, I remember she had messaged me. She's like, by the way, because we, like, ended up kind of having, like, a kiki and, like, chatting on Twitter about it. And she's telling me about her ex, and we were just, like, having a conversation. Nice. And then she goes, oh, by the way, like, did you ever have his location? And I was like, no.
Not him having his location
she had his location, which is fucking weird. And she sent me, like, where he was. Oh, my God.
At the moment?
No, wait. No joke. Guess what street he was on?
Cheater Avenue.
Don Julian. No. We did not plan that. That's so crazy.
That's funny.
So he was there. I don't know who lived there. Ooh. Maybe his ex. I don't know. Who knows?
He's supposed to be at work.
Hey, true.
He told you his ass was at work already. Give me my hat.
Liar. Anyway.
Fucking loser.
And then...
Sorry.
What did you say?
Fucking loser.
And then he... I don't know why I screenshot this too, but I guess like I had... During these messages, I guess like it was also his ex... Oh, I think a week later... Oh, I think maybe that was his ex-girlfriend's house. Like the street that... Anyway. A week or maybe like a few days later, he posted on his Instagram his ex-girlfriend and says like, happy birthday to this intelligent, ambitious, gorgeous, wild heart, beautiful soul of a woman.
Stop right now.
It literally says 45 seconds or 49 seconds ago. I'm fucking crazy.
She said there wasn't even notifications back then.
So just to like end it off, like I just baffled at men.
It ended clearly.
And it ended for sure. Also, well, I guess there's like more to that story, but that wasn't like the messages weren't it. That wasn't it. Like, he yelled at me like that on the phone. This is why also, like, I can't believe that these things were said to me, because the way that it actually, like, ended was he had then, I guess she didn't give him the time of day anymore. And then I think maybe I did pick up the hat, because then I went to his house, his mom's house, where he was living. And he had told me to come over. It was just us there. And we were sitting at the table. And I was literally like probably like sitting there like this,
Pissed.
like angry, like not phased in the face. And he was like trying to explain to me like what happened and blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm done, dude. Like, I'm done trying for you. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
And I thought things were different, and they're clearly not. And I think I'm at my wit's end. Like, I don't want to be your ex-girlfriend or your girlfriend. Like, I don't want to be her. I don't want to be in a situation where you're also cheating on me and I have to deal with that bullshit. Like, that is not the life I want to live.
Yeah.
As much as I care about you, that is not it.
Good for you.
So that happened. And then I remember that he didn't want to give me the hat. So I was like,
bro, what is with them holding on to shit so that they can like use it as bribing to come and see them?
Yeah, it's like literally to like reel you in. So then I remember like being like, I know where it is. I'm gonna go up into your room. There's like stairs, and I'm going up and getting it. And as I'm coming down, he's like not yelling at me, but he's just saying shit like, I'm really sorry, he's crying or whatever. And then I get to the bottom of the stairs, and he just like goes on his knees and is like begging me to stay.
Oh.
Literally begging me to stay.
And this is before he posted his ex?
I think this is before.
A couple days.
Yeah. Probably a couple days.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like begging me to stay, begging me to like give him another chance and like that things will be different and blah, 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 blah. And I remember that like I just like sat, like he like held on to my legs and I was just like standing there like,
okay.
And I think I remember I didn't end it rudely. I think I definitely, I mean, don't correct me if I'm wrong because I don't want you to like tell on yourself. But I think I did end it like saying like, I really hope that like you find happiness because you were clearly like, something's wrong. Like, I don't think any of these girls are bad. I think it's you. Like, you're doing something bad to yourself. You're hurting yourself. The way that you're crying right now and begging for me to stay, like, there's abandonment issues. There's like shit going on there, like, mister. Like, you gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
And it, like, honestly, like, looking back, it's really fucking sad. But, you know. And I left and I felt like a baddie, so.
You said your tears are on me.
And I said, it's okay. I know where my next move is.
You said, I'm plotting the next one anyway.
So.
And that one's a good one,
And that
too.
one's a good one, too. Didn't get any better. I told my therapist, I was like, I think, like, I just gradually got worse.
It did, huh?
It did.
No, yeah, it did.
It really did.
It said just, like, emotional, just, like, confusing, mental, emotional, and then it was, like, physical.
Yeah, very, very physical. Anyway, so I just, like, wrapped that one up real fast. This next one started, like, with this man who I met at work.
Yeah.
Like, not James. What did we name him?
Stuart.
Like Stuart. He also had told me that he had cheated before in, like, the start of things.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, he's being honest. Like, oh my God, he's being honest about it. It's fine. Like, we can move on from it. I can really, like, respect that he's being honest with me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Dumb. So then, also, like, sketchy. We'll go over, like, red flags. But he had also told me that it was, like, a mutual, like, cheating on each other. Like, they were both, like, getting back at each other. Interesting.
Mature.
Sure. And so, yeah, let's just preface it with that. I'll quickly go through this one because this one's tiresome to me.
He is,
Exhausting to think about. At the beginning of our relationship, I feel like I was basically kind of like, again, begging a person to be with me. Mm-hmm. But instead of begging, I was just kind of ultimatum being like, if you don't want to be with me, then I can't fuck around anymore. Like,
that's not begging.
Yeah.
That's setting a boundary.
Okay, so I set a boundary. But the thing is, like, I waited for him to think about it at the
like,
same
you were
time.
so close to being fully healthy and, like, doing something right for yourself.
Yeah.
But you were still kind of like,
I was like, I can't be with you unless, like, we can't keep doing this if you're not going to be with me. But giving him, like, 2 weeks to think about whether or not he was, and, like, acting normal. You know what I mean?
You said, we have these 2 weeks to be together, and then you can decide.
And then you can decide if you really want me. Stupid. And so that's just kind of how it was started. And then we were together. And throughout this shit, it was very, like, emotionally manipulative and abusive. A lot of the time very, like, mean to me and did some very nasty things. That can go in a different episode about relationship trauma. But so yeah, like, there was already a basis that was not good, with, like, emotional sense, which then turned into, like, I don't really want to, like, be intimate with you because you piss me off a lot, you make me cry a lot, I just don't necessarily like find you.
Yeah, women need, I mean, people, but women especially need like connection.
Yeah, like
sex. It's not just
emotional
like
connection. It just like wasn't there. So then a lot of our relationship towards like the end was him like really telling, and I did a lot for this man. Let me just say that I did a lot for this man.
it do be like that.
But at the end of the relationship, he really like told me quite often that like, or like gaslit me into like basically making me feel like I was doing something wrong to him because I wouldn't be intimate with him. And he would like gaslight me and asking me like if I was even attracted to him anymore, like just like all this weird shit just to get me to be intimate. And that's a whole nother story. And so yeah, like let's just start at that. Like it was just not good. And then at this point, I think I think before I needed like huge reasons to leave a relationship.
Yeah.
So that I can just like, cause I think before I was scared of like leaving a relationship and having them think that I was a bad person. I feel like I always wanted to be like leaving on my good note and letting them fuck up, which in itself is weird, but that's weird of me. Like I should have just, I felt I had checked out of that relationship a long time ago before this even happened, but obviously it was still painful. So whatever. There's this one, I think it was like a little bit before Christmas or after Christmas, maybe like the 26th. I think it was somewhere in between New Year's and Christmas. Let's just say that. We were really close, and he would like sleep over at my house. Like my parents were cool with him and cool with that. And I remember I took a shower, and then I was like, hey, do you want to go hop in the shower? Like, and then we can do whatever. I don't know where we were going, but we're getting ready for the day. And while he went to go shower, his phone was charging in my room.
The start.
And let me just tell you, like, when you look at that phone and you really, there's a calling, there's a calling, there's something in there. You don't even have to look. I promise you, like 100%.
But look, because you need proof to get the fuck out.
You need the evidence. So I'm just sitting there looking at the phone. I'm like, oh, fuck, I really gotta look. Like, something's going on.
I hate that feeling.
I look in his phone. He's like texting this girl who goes to his friend's school. So that's cool. And they're talking, and it's like kind of like, hey, how are you doing? Like, I really miss you type shit. Like, when are you free again? Like,
I don't say I miss anybody. What the fuck?
That's like a whole conversation about like just like deep shit, or just like it's just like a conversation you kind of like text people that you're talking to kind of situation. And I was like, interesting. And I like scroll up and I read like, hey, like it was so good seeing you on Friday.
Interesting.
And I say, oh, Friday, you were at work supposedly on Friday. Cool.
Nice.
And I mean, throughout this, like months prior, before, like for 2 months before this, he was unemployed. I mean, he's always been living at his parents, but like unemployed. I like hung out a lot with him. I would pay for his gas sometimes, and like it was just like a thing, you know, like I was being a girlfriend. And anyway, so then I was like, so at this point he now had a job. He was making good money because he was like a waiter or like a bus boy at some place like fancy, specifically Sugarfish, if you know what that is.
Not bad.
And me telling you where he works, go fuck him up. No, I'm just kidding.
I doubt he works there anymore.
I don't know, man. Maybe. And so he was making good money, or okay money. And so I guess like he had fucking the availability to also.
Now he can go cheat.
He can go drive his ass somewhere else.
Oh, you got money now? Don't spend it on your girlfriend that's been putting money into you.
No, spend it on your dick. Anyway, so also keep in mind, like, I think this is the summer, so like school's technically out, like in college. Oh no, it was winter. Sorry, it was winter. So like nobody's at school. It's winter break. That makes a lot of sense now. And I realized that he drove all the way to Riverside. That's far from where he lived in Pasadena.
It's far as fuck. Yeah.
So I just kind of sit there with the information, and I'm just literally in my towel sitting like a crazy bitch like this. And he comes out. I like literally wait until he's out of the shower, and I grab my clothes when he comes into the room, and I'm like, I am gonna go change and I need you to leave.
Nice.
Like, you need to get the fuck out of my house. And he's just like texting me while I'm in the bathroom, like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. I'm like, I read your messages, dude. Like, you're fucking cheating on me.
In the bathroom, texting
Literally.
him as he's in your room, texting you.
And then he's like, come into the room. So I go into the room. We're talking about it again. I was like, you're cheating on me. Like, fuck you. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, I don't want to fucking discuss this at my mom's house or my parents' house. Like, I don't want them to think anything. Like, and I don't want you to get hurt, literally. So if you want to talk about this, like, maybe just call me later, or like we can figure it out. And I don't know what happens, but like we ended up deciding to go get food and like talk over food. I don't know. And he's just basically
manipulating.
Yeah, he somehow like convinced me that it was only like emotional cheating.
Like, oh my God, it's not a big deal though.
I mean, he said it was a big deal, but he's just like, I didn't do anything like physically, literally
But
verbatim
he went to
said that.
Riverside. Well, you're not driving to Riverside for a combo.
Well, he had also said that like he was with his best friend and her because they were friends. And I was like, your friend's a fucking trifling bitch for that, because I was close with his friend, his best friend.
Right.
And that's really fucked up that he didn't have my back. But whatever, boys will be boys, right? So whatever, that happened. I guess kind of let it go.
Hate that.
And before this, like, again, he was very emotionally manipulative. So like, I think
It
I
was just like the run of the mill. It was like,
I was easily like just giving in, because I also like, in emotionally being abused, like, I didn't want to deal with fights or deal with like getting the gaslit part after being like trying to defend myself.
yeah.
So I just kind of like
exhausting.
always, they just like, just give in, just let it go, you know?
Literally.
So I was like, okay, fine. And then also I was just like, we had a lot of like the same friends. I think in my brain it just felt really like exhausting to try and make things like work, or like not
to fix it.
to fix it, or
Just,
like to have my own friends. Yeah. So whatever. That happens, life goes on. I'm like thinking everything's fine. And then New Year's comes around. And New Year's is a whole other situation that I will never talk about on this podcast, but like exactly what happened at that party. It was messy and whatever. So then we're having a good time. It's a good ass time
Yes.
at this party. Then the night ends and we're driving back to his house. And I don't know why, but my crazy ass just looks at his phone and I'm like, hey, did you text her today? Because, you know, he texts people like, Happy New Year, whatever. And he just goes, yeah.
Okay, thank you for being honest, but what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, no, you know what? I had asked him, like, hey, did you ever tell her that you can't speak anymore? And I think he said, yeah. And then I said, okay, well, can I see? And then he
Hell
said,
yeah.
And he didn't even look at me. He was driving. He was like, you know, when you're driving, talking, like he looks over, right? He did not look at me. He was just straight on. And I was like, can I look? And he said straight up to me, no. I was like, what do you fucking mean no? I think I literally said, what the fuck do you mean no? And then I like grabbed it anyways. He didn't try to fight me on it. Nothing.
I mean, he's driving. It'd be dangerous.
Well, he's done weird shit to me before in the car. So
So interesting that he didn't fight it.
yeah.
Out of character.
Very out of character. And so I'm like looking at it, and he did tell her like, hey, we can't speak anymore. Like, I have a girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. Whatever.
What'd she
And then
say?
she said, oh, that's really fucked up that you manipulated me into thinking like that you liked me and that you hooked up with me. Like, we hooked up last Friday, blah, blah, blah. So then it didn't only go from like emotionally cheating, but it was like an actual cheat or a physical cheat.
Correct.
Because all of it's cheating. But yeah, and we get to his house. I'm silent. I get out of
I mean, he knows what those texts say.
I think I threw his phone like at his window, like, you know, like chucked it, and then I just sat there, and he was like, what the fuck? And I just sat there, you know, I just sat there quietly until we arrived. And then when we arrived, I got up out of the car and I was like, I'm gonna go get my shit and I need you to like leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna go home. It was the middle of the fucking night. It was like literally 3 or 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. My
Super
family's
dangerous.
probably drunk. You know, no one can pick me up. But I was so set on walking and maybe getting myself an Uber. I don't know what I was going to do, but I was going to do something. And at this point, he's literally like trying to tackle me down to get me to like stopping from leaving.
And you don't even want to be touched.
And I don't
by
even want to
him
touch.
either,
No,
yeah.
absolutely. Don't fucking touch me. And it gets a little violent. Not violent like that, but like I don't want to be touched. Don't like hold me down. Like, it felt scary to me. And so I decked him in the face. And that's what stopped him from, like, touching me. And so he's like, I don't know how I got, like, calmed down, but he just kind of, like, I think I, like, panicked because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't know how to get out of here. And my car was there. Or no, it wasn't there. It was at home. And so he was like, I'll just drive you in the morning. Like, you can sleep in my bed. I won't be in there, like, with you. So if, like, that's what you want, but whatever. So I was like, fine, I'll just, like, sleep here. I'll let it be. He ends up getting in the bed. Tries to, like, touch me, and I was like, get the fuck off me, dude.
For real?
Not, like, touch me in that way, but, like, hold me. And I'm like, don't touch me. Like, I'm so fucking angry. Like, just lay down and look away from me. Like, don't even breathe my air. I knock the fuck out, and then I wake up in the morning. He's not even awake yet. I get fully dressed, and I literally, like, push him, like, take me home. And so, again, I'm not speaking to him in the whole way. He's trying to have a conversation. I get my shit out of the car when we get to my house, and I'm like, I don't think I say anything to him, actually. I think I just, like, get up and leave. And then I think he rolls his window down when I'm walking away, and he's just like, you're not gonna say anything? And I'm like, bye. And I was like, I literally have nothing to say to you. Like, you can leave. You can go home. I was like, I'll figure out the shit that, like, that you have of mine. You know, like, I'll get it later. I don't give a shit. But yeah, and then I come home. I'm, like, kind of hungover, but I think it's, like, a lot of emotional shit. And I just go to my brother's room, turn around, put the covers on me, which isn't, like, weird. Like, I would sleep in his room a lot, and we would just, like, hang out and watch movies. And I just, like, started crying, and he didn't say anything. I think he, like, knew. But yeah, that's how that ended. And then, yeah, he, like, begged me to talk to him again, and I said no. And then eventually, months later, like, near his birthday, like, in May, I decided, like, he wanted to, like, have closure. So, like, I met up with him at a Starbucks, and we talked, and I was just like, it's fine, honestly. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm really just here for you to, like, get it off your chest, because I'm fine. Like, you messed up. Like, that's how I feel. And yeah, and then he tried to be my friend, and I was like, not gonna happen, King. But
yeah,
good luck with your life.
There's just some things that, like, you don't need to do with that person.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, you want to feel better because you wronged me, like, it's
that's
just
on you. Deal with your own emotions.
Yeah, it's my job is to fix me now, because I was trying to fix you.
Absolutely. So that's the end of those stories.
Maybe in Glowing Hour we'll talk aftermath or something.
Yeah, let's talk aftermath.
Okay. See you there. We're back, and we are drinking fig drink.
I feel like it's like a fig.
I'm like, it's gin, like a gin and tonic, or there's no tonic in it. So
yeah, there's no tonic.
A fig gin cocktail.
It kind of tastes like an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, it does. And a hiss. Well, this one's a long one, obviously. And, you know, the way it's not even the full story is the even better part.
We're going to... Thank you for the experiences. I'm going to milk them on my podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's, like, a whole other, like, relationship episodes, I guess, that can go into this. Which we've already done a relationship. We should really look back at that episode, because it's interesting.
Because it's prior to Stuart.
It's prior to Stuart.
We should just have episodes named, like, Don Julio, Stuart, James.
We should.
It's just the story of them. Nah, they don't deserve dedicated episodes.
That was literally my next thought.
Yeah. Anyways, so I guess we just want to talk about the aftermath of cheating in general. Like, not necessarily each person, but maybe just, like, you know, if you're going through this or you went through this, we could just, like, reminisce, because who doesn't love reminiscing on painful, traumatic times of our lives? We sure do. It's cathartic, though, to be honest. Like, these experiences were really shitty and really hard to go through, and I think sometimes we make light of them because it's, like, easier, and it's just, like, hee. It's also, like, just, it's good to have a laugh about it,
yeah,
obviously, but, like, you know, they were hurtful. So if you're listening, we're laughing.
But that shit hurted at the time.
You got us fucked up. But the aftermath, I mean, luckily we were never the cheater. Because I feel like for them, the aftermath is so much worse.
I do wonder if, like, they felt guilt. I mean, for one of them, I definitely know Mr. Stewart felt very guilty.
Yes, he did.
But I just like, I guess one of mine also did. But I think the other ones, I don't.
You know, that's the thing about guilt. Like,
that's the thing about guilt.
You know, I feel like to a degree they felt bad for hurting us, but I think they felt more bad that they repeated a pattern. About, like, it was about them.
It was more like,
I can't believe I did this again.
It was, yeah. It was like another
incident?
another like tally on the tally mark of like,
now I have to tell my future partners about this one.
And it's also like that just, it's more evidence to like, I'm a fucking bad person.
Like, I need to fix this problem.
Or not.
Like, clearly
fix it.
I need to do some work.
Yeah. It's evident that someone is better than you, you know, in terms of like being ready or caring about the, like, there's so much insensitivity and like selfishness that happens with cheating that I don't know. I think now looking at it, I mean, whether or not you're not in a relationship and I am, but like, I think we both have the same viewpoint on this where it's like, I'd rather, like, cheating makes no sense. Yeah. Because I think like, I would disagree if you want, but like, for example, when Logan and I talk about it, it doesn't make any sense to us to ever do that, because if we ever had a problem in our relationship, we'd want to talk about that first. And then secondly, if it really was just about like a slip up, like if somebody actually just said like, it's just a slip up, like I just wanted to have sex with them, that's also a conversation that I feel like in my current relationship I can have. Like, if you want to have sex with somebody else, then make it about that, but not like...
No, but wait, question. If they, like, okay, let's just, I don't even want to say that, because what the hell? But, like, let's say Logan, like, went out and, like, kissed somebody, and it was romantic, but she came home and was honest and was like, I can't believe I fucking did that. No.
Okay, I'm talking about, like...
Communicating that there was a desire.
And I think it's a prior situation. Like, if you're feeling something's missing in our relationship... I was like,
damn, no, you come a long way, bitch. I said, the trauma's thick.
I am playing with that. Okay. It's more of, like...
No, I get you.
Have a conversation. Yeah, communicate with me beforehand, before you do anything, that something's missing or something's wrong, or, like, you even just are having an urge to do something with somebody else. I'd rather be prepared for the fact that you might need this situation to move forward with our relationship. Like, and I personally don't think that says anything about me, like, being enough. But, like, if I get, like, people are animals, and, like, you know, there might be an urge, like, you can be sexually attracted to a lot of people, and, like, I feel like sometimes maybe, like, within, like, a long period of time, you might want to do something with somebody else. I feel like I'd rather know that reality and, like, deal with how that's gonna make me feel, and me decide whether or not I want to be a part of that situation, not, like, with them too, but, like, whether or not I want to put myself through that vulnerability, that acceptingness of, like, having my partner go with somebody else for a minute. Like, I just want to be aware and conscious and, like,
and part of the
decision making of that, you know. And so that's why, like, cheating doesn't make sense to me, because I definitely feel like if that's just all it is, like, it could be something that could be talked through or, like, decided together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, obviously not something you're, like, welcoming into your relationship.
No, I'm not like, oh my god, yeah, totally. No, it's just more of, like,
there's a preference. I'd rather be no than not.
Yeah, and I just, like, I want to be with my partner forever at this point, and, like, I know that life gets complicated and things get tricky, and I'd rather, like, move through life together and figure those things out than, like, feel betrayed. And, like...
Yeah, because then it turns into everything else.
Yeah, and then it turns into, like... Trust and, like, you know, we know, like, the foundation's faulty at that point, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know where...
So that was your aftermath, I guess.
What do you mean by that?
Like, moving into the next relationship, that was the aftermath of being cheated on. You're like, this is now the expectation.
Yeah.
Agreed with that.
And it's funny because I think, like, now, like, my viewpoints just make a lot of sense in terms of, like, understanding, again, like, the sympathizing with my cheaters.
My cheaters. Just me and my cheaters.
Just me and my cheaters. Where like I can understand why things were done and if certain things were communicated. I don't know that I was in a place.
You probably wouldn't have been like, oh, cool, yeah, let's talk about it. You know, you probably would have been like, fuck you. But then at least you weren't betrayed and...
Yeah. I think it's just like, I don't think I was like in a mental, like the same mental state that I am now where like I'm accepting of things or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was very much immature, but at the same time, like if I had those facts laid out in front of me of like, for example, if the second person that I talked about, Don Julio, if he told me like, hey, I'm actually really attracted to her and like I've never been with another person besides my ex-girlfriend. I feel like I kind of want to like explore.
Keep dating people.
Yeah, I want to explore, date people. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I won't stick around. Maybe I will. But like,
yeah,
give me the fucking choice. You know, don't like play with my emotions and play with somebody else's. And the same thing for the next one. Like, you're going through shit at home. You feel like worth this piece of shit. Deal with that on your own. That is not my fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the aftermath for the cheater, depending on the situation, like I feel like Don Julio, aftermath for him was very much like, let's run it back a few more times before I heal. Probably. I mean, I don't know, actually, but
yeah, I don't know.
The energy he was texting you back with was giving like, I don't give a fuck. I
will say that since then he's apologized to me on multiple occasions about who he was technically. Like
he got there eventually.
Yeah, I definitely feel like people can change and people do change.
But would you ever give him another chance? Like regardless of your life right now, but like in general.
I don't know. No, probably not.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I think I'm a person who gets like wronged and I just kind of like move on. There's more people in the world, you know?
Yeah.
But that's also...
After we got wronged like 80 times. And then finally left. Or like, yeah, we just...
No, but like, I wouldn't knock like trying to be his friend. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we kind of like grew up together in a way. So like, I think that there's history in that way, but I don't think that I would ever even feel that kind of way about him. Because it's just like...
So far gone.
It's fucked up, you know, man.
You said that was fucked
sucked.
Up. Shouldn't do that again. Sucked. Yeah, so I think some people don't heal. Maybe ever. In this case, he did. But maybe ever. And then some people just take a while to get there. And then some people are immediately remorseful.
Yeah. I'm sure there like it exists in every situation where like some people are continuously just cheating. Yeah. Some people like need a minute. And then other people are like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. I'm never going to do that again. I've seen every type of situation, I think, at this point. But it's also just like, I don't know. I personally, I'm like, cool, I gave a serial cheater a chance. Never again. Like, for That's
me,
a red flag at this point, huh?
Yeah, like at this point, it's like, if you've cheated, I just don't have time for that. Unless it was like literally 10 years ago. Or like...
when you were like in high school.
Right. Duh. Like, do we count that? Not really. But if it was like an adult serious relationship, just move along.
And the thing is like, you'll never get the real story from the cheater themselves. I think it'll always come off, especially if they're not grown from the situation. I think they'll always just say like
a sympathetic story for you. Yeah,
like, this is why I did it. Like, they also did this to me. And it's just like, instead of saying, yeah, I fucked up and it was fucking shitty and like of me and, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I'd be like, cool, we can be friends, but never romantically talking to you ever again.
Wait, have you been watching Love Island?
Yeah.
US? The US?
Yeah.
So when Maddie, is that her name?
Was it Deb or Maddie?
Maddie.
Oh, Maddie. Oh, yeah, Maddie.
She's like, respectfully, the doors are closed. Or what did she say? Something like that.
Because he went and recoupled or something, right?
So the doors have been closed once you say some dumb shit. Yeah, the aftermath is just... What about like for you? Like, not for the cheater, but for you, like, how was that?
Yeah, I feel like...
I know, but like...
Yeah.
It's the public.
Just let the people know. I feel like for... It depends, obviously, on how grown the person who got cheated on is as well, because I think through one experience, I was very much just, like, heartbroken and sad and not really being like, there were so many red flags, it was so bad, it was blah, 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 like, whatever. And then the second time around, I was like, that was so fucked up. I literally stuck by you through everything. All the red flags. blah, 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 all the things you did. And like, wow, I'm tired. Like, dating men is exhausting. Or people, I'm sure in general, dating people is exhausting. But like
if you ask me, dating men
is just giving like so much more. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like because I haven't been in a like an actual relationship, committed like partner, since that situation, I'm just kind of like coasting through my feelings. Like, you can only heal so much by yourself till you start challenging the healing you did with someone else. So like, I feel like I've done work. I don't know if I've done all of the work that I could do by myself, but I feel like I've done a good amount of work of like being more aware. But like, you have to go out there and start talking to people to start being like, oh yeah, I didn't like that, but like, I recognize that, and I know that that won't go any further, or I'm never going to talk to you again, or respectfully, never mind, or like whatever the case.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think if you've been cheated on and you're not in a relationship, but you feel like either ready to get into one or just ready to meet people again, just know you're going to be faced with like probably triggers, or I don't know, just like moments of being like, oh, like, with my ex, I would probably act like this because I didn't trust them, or whatever the case. I don't know.
I think when like cheating happens to you, even if you know it's not your fault, there's still like a distrust that you gain with yourself, because you're like, why the fuck did I allow myself to be put through this shit? Like, something has to be not wrong with me, but like, what the fuck was my problem? Why did I do that? Yeah. And so, like you said, I think the whole practicing situation of like getting out there and like kind of like dipping your toes into seeing what kind of shit people tell you, it only like creates more trust within yourself about whether or not you can like identify these like bad signs or whatever. And in the same breath, I want to like also tell you and like other people who maybe are like experiencing similar things that like you won't ever know the full truth of everything, unless like sometimes you just gotta go through the fucking relationship and emotions and go through the fucking ringer and understand that that's how people sometimes like over time show their true colors. And so yeah, it's like you have no control at the same time, which is a scary thought, but like I think just be like aware of your boundaries and be ready for the ride along, you know? Yeah, I think the safest bet is just like try not to control the situation, but be very aware. Like, if you think they're lying to you, obviously dip. I mean, if you're having that thought, just get the fuck out of there. But if you trust them and things are going well and they haven't shown you anything bad, just don't second guess it. Just go with it. And if they prove otherwise, then they prove otherwise. And this time, hopefully, you'll be like, okay, first time, I'm going to leave this time. I'm not going to stick around to get fucked up over and over and over again. Yeah. So, yeah. I think my actual, like, healing will be put to the test, I guess. It's, like, in the practice. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, don't cheat on people. We know it's not our fault, but, like, that really doesn't change anything. It still fucking hurts, and it sucks. Yeah. Betrayal is ugly. Betrayal is ugly. Especially when you did nothing wrong. Just saying. I mean, not to say that we were perfect people or whatever, but we were good girlfriends at minimum. At minimum. Good girlfriends. Yeah. And I think, like, if you're not, like, a savage and ruthless, like, probably we should have been. But in the moment, like, we thought that we could not change people, but that people can change, and, like, giving them opportunities to showcase themselves in their best light, because you see these people beyond themselves of, like, what they're basically, you see their potential. You. Yeah. Just, like, remember that, like, what they're showing you is what you're gonna get. Yeah. At face value, do you like this person and who they're showing you to, like, that they are? Like, I think you should take the face value and not look at the potential, because that will always fucking screw you over. Always. Yes. And that's my advice on that. Yes. I don't know that I got anything else to say. I mean, there's a lot to say, but, like, a lot in terms of... Yeah, I mean, men are just trifling, women are trifling, he, she, they, not me. You can't. What did she say? You can fuck around with. No, I don't know what she said.
I don't know what she said, but something with he, she, they, them, their, but not me.
Literally. Yeah, I hope you besties out there who have been hurt in the same way
are healing,
because that shit is something you carry, you know. I'm in a very healthy relationship now. I love my partner so much, but these are still like things that I have to fucking talk about in therapy, and like I unfortunately still make them a part of my current life in a way. Like I have distrust in people. I create issues that like maybe didn't have to become issues because of it. So like again, I think it's not a test, but like you will have to
you're constantly
move through these emotions until you finally like fully let them go, you know.
Yeah, to be fair, you weren't actively healing on them for a while, right?
I think I always was, but I think I always just ended up in a similar situation, so
right,
it's kind of like
how triggered you.
How far can I go when like you're showing me the same shit? You know what I mean?
You said
it's I am gonna trust myself, and I'm also gonna try to trust you.
And then you do it, and then
they fuck me over.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
It's going good right now. Logan, you're doing great.
Fucking don't fuck it up.
She would never.
No, she
wouldn't. It's just funny.
Well, this one was way too long.
It's like a 2-hour episode.
But you know what? Fuck it. We're just here to spill the tea, and hopefully you wanted to hear the tea. And, you know, there's more tea to be spilt, so...
Men suck, dude. Men
give
really
this video a
suck.
thumbs up if you want me to post screenshots.
Do you want the reminder to be screenshots?
If you want the reminder to be really funny... It's like sad because we feel bad for them still. Like I'm still like you were going through shit, clearly.
But that's not my problem.
But I'm laughing because it's funny.
I wish you could post the voicemail. That would never happen though, at least in our page, because it's too actually maybe, I don't know.
Hey, if you guys want to hear a voicemail, we need like 1,000 downloads. So start downloading the fuck out of this podcast episode.
Anyway.
That's messy. Anyway, we'll see y'all later. Next week, we're going to be talking about, I believe, turning 25.
Were you going to say 26, bitch?
No, I was going to say 24, but...
Turning 25.
Yeah, and the lessons we learned. Yes, so if you want to hear what we've learned, tune in. We'll see y'all then.
Bye.